Year 2016. 3 years after 2001 Parliament attack convict, Afzal Guru was hanged. Jawaharlal Nehru University, one of the most premier institutions of higher education, saw protest on the campus against his capital punishment. Slogans such as "तुम कितने अफजल मारोगे, हर घर से अफजल निकलेंगे" and "अफजल हम शर्मिंदा हैं, तेरे कातिल जिंदा हैं" were raised along with "कश्मीर की आजादी तक जंग चलेगी, भारत की बर्बादी तक जंग चलेगी." Year 2019. Aligarh Muslim University in Aligarh and Jamia Millia Islamia in Delhi saw protest against the newly passed Citizenship Amendment Act. The law was aimed at fast-tracking Indian citizenship of persecuted religious minorities in India's three neighboring countries, that is Pakistan, Bangladesh and Afghanistan. These three countries have Islam as their state religion, and the minorities such as Hindus, Buddhists, Christians, Sikhs in these countries are susceptible to persecution. Hence, if they had come to India legally before the cutoff date, and should they seek Indian citizenship, the same would be fast-tracked. This act did not affect the Indian citizens in any way, including Muslims. However, an air was created that the CAA is stripping Muslims of their Indian citizenship. As we said, the CAA does not affect the Indian citizens, including Muslims. So why did students, as well as some faculties of these two prominent universities, protest? And why did these protests turn violent? Why were slogans such as "Modi teri kabar khudegi" AMU ki dharti par raised? And why were slogans raised by separatists in Kashmir such as "Tere mere rishte kya la ilaha illa Allah" raised by these so-called students? Not just that, the Azaadi slogans these so-called students are raising are the genocidal calls raised by the Kashmiri separatist leaders, which eventually led to the genocide and exodus of Kashmiri Hindus. Year 2023. Aligarh Muslim University students protest and hold a march in support of Palestine. This came just after Hamas terrorists had carried out one of the most brutal terror attacks in Israel, killing hundreds and taking many more as hostages. The protesters called Israel's action on Hamas in Gaza as atrocities inflicted on innocent natives to establish supremacy. India's stand on the war has been clear and has called for de-escalation. However, AMU students were showing a completely different picture. Similarly, Jamia Millia Islamia students too held protests in support of Palestine. In fact, they watered down Hamas attacks as a response to provocation by Israel and called the terror attack anti-colonial struggle. Educational campuses and premier institutions of India are full of such support to terror sympathizers. All of those who support Palestine have not condemned the Hamas terror attack on Israelis on 7th of October 2023. None of them have demanded the hostages be returned. None of their hearts bleed for the Jewish babies who were beheaded. Instead, they have justified the Hamas attack a response to provocation and years of so-called occupation. Considering Israel is the very place from where Judaism started, it is quite rich of them to accuse them of occupying the place that is their natural home. And then there is Raza Academy, the organization that started off as a publishing books of Barelvi scholars, eventually turned into breathing ground for violence when Raza Academy organized protests in 2012 over riots in Assam and alleged attacks on Muslims in Myanmar and Mumbai. Here is one of the most iconic images of Azad Maidan riots perpetrated by Raza Academy in August 2012. When Sharjeel imam asked for chakka jam and cut off the chicken's neck, that is the Siliguri corridor that connects the northeastern states to the rest of India, he was a student at JNU. Umar Khalid, currently in jail in 2020 Delhi riots case, was also a student at JNU when he raised anti-India slogans and took part in the Delhi riots conspiracy. This makes one wonder, what exactly is being taught in our colleges? Aren't these temple of knowledge? What knowledge are they gaining? If one notices, many of these Azaadi chanting students are part of student organizations. Student wings of political parties use the universities as recruiting and grooming grounds. However, sometimes these political parties have radicalized ideologies. For example, SIMI, that is Students Islamic Movement of India, a group of radicalized students formed in Aligarh, Uttar Pradesh, who wanted to liberate India by establishing an Islamic rule. They had declared jihad against India and wanted to convert everyone to Islam, either forcefully or by violence. SIMI was banned by the government of India for its extremist ideology, as well as involvement in violence. It later morphed into a full-fledged terror organization, Indian Mujahideen. Banned outfit, Popular Front of India also has a student wing called Campus Front of India. very active in the southern part of India. CFI was also responsible for the hijab protest in Karnataka colleges in early 2022. In fact, CFI played a very active role in the anti-CA protest too. The CFI members instigated the Muslim students in colleges to wear hijab, which was not part of the college uniform. CFI also held a protest march in support of Rohingyas. Since 2022, CFI is also banned by the government of India for unlawful activities. Then there are organizations such as Students Islamic Organization of India. Remember the Jamia Shiros? Two students of Jamia Millia Islamia, Ladida Farzana and Aisha Rena, introduced by Barkha Dutt as the face of CA protests in the university. They became prominent faces when a picture of them standing up to the lathi charging police personnel were appearing to be saving a photographer went viral on social media. Except the social media profiles of these two girl students showed how they were radicalized and gave open calls for jihad and establishment of caliphate, that is an Islamic nation. Do you know Ladida's husband Shiyash Perumathura was associated with Students Islamic Organization in Kerala, and also that SIO was founded by Jamaat Islami in 1982 after Simi broke away from the Islamist organization in 1981. A Livement report from 2008 puts the relationship between Simi and SIO in this manner. Blood brothers they may be, but the groups have charted conflicting courses, both in principle and actions. When Simi is largely underground after the government crackdown, SIO is gradually swelling student revolution in the making, taking Islam beyond the paranoid stereotypes of fundamentalism and violence. Its mission to prepare students, Muslims and non-Muslims, for reconstruction of a peaceful India on the basis of Islamic principles. As we have seen, student organizations with radical and extremist ideology, which are very active on college and university campuses, are working overtime to recruit and groom students who can be sacrificed on the altar of jihad. It is time we wake up to the reality and protect our students from being brainwashed in the name of Azaadi.